Welcome to I Am Exuding Wellness, another episode. And I am here today with Adenike from Drink Outside the Box. Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm amazing. Thank you. I'm happy to have you on. So how long have you had this business?
This business has been in existence for 12 years, going into 13.
That's amazing. So what made you get started?
Well, I was a vegetarian and then a vegan for over 10 years. So my total in that would be like over 40 some years that this has been like my lifestyle. This is not something I just started. With the lifestyle switch, it actually, I started seeing a lot of things going on that made me realize on how important, certain things in your life, water, air, your environment, toxicities, how important it affects our lives on every level.
Yeah.
So that made me go into the health and wellness industry over 20 years ago, but starting Drink Outside the Box has been an ongoing business. So it's growing.
For sure. No, I mean, and that's how you know that you're doing good, because the business is growing. But did you have any ailments or disease that actually made you transition into a vegetarian lifestyle?
Well, what ended up happening was my mom ended up with cancer.
What kind?
And she died from cervical cancer.
Okay.
And I did not have the knowledge that I have today. And so I realized, I said, I wasn't able to really help my mom, because when they get to a certain age, but she wasn't old, she was only in her early 60s when she passed. But the problem was eating habits. Mm-hmm. See, I transitioned in my eating habits when I was 17. So okay. 17, 19 was my transitional year. So that was phenomenal. I started feeling better. It was one lady that was instrumental in my life. Her name is Nellie Monk. She's no longer with us, but she put me on the path of health and wellness. She actually told me at 17, I was acting like a 90-year-old woman.
Oh, that's such an insult. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Way to keep it blunt, right?
The aches and the pains. Yes. And she said, girl, how old are you? I said, 17. She said, girl, you sound like you're 90 years old. So I started learning to fast. I started juicing. And that became my lifestyle, but it did not transition to my mom. Mm-hmm. So she was eating a lot of sweets. I was never one to like a lot of sweets. So that transition changed my life, also changed my legacy.
So now would it say that you were already on the path, but then having her die of that was kind of like the make, like now you're definitely not going back. It's only up from there because of what she went through. That's amazing.
Exactly.
That's
yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so awesome. So then, I guess going on your journey, at what point did you decide that everyone needs to understand the importance of water and how to get the right source of water?
Well, I became a colon hygienist for 10 years. And the clients kept coming back to me for the same issues. And I scratched my head. I'm like, why? Why? Dehydration. They come back with, I say DOA, dehydration, oxidation, acidosis. Those are the—
Is that on arrival, DOA?
And
okay, wait, so break it down again. What was it? It was
dehydration, oxidation, acidosis.
What's acidosis?
Acidosis is acid.
Okay.
Builds up in our bodies.
Yes.
So what I started seeing this, I'm saying this is a pattern. So from my doing colonoscopy and doing all of these things for over 10 years, I started seeing it, and I felt like I wasn't being effective. So then someone introduced me to electrolyzed reduced water.
Okay.
As soon as I saw it clicked. It made sense, because we are alive. We have an electrical impulse, and the water has an electrical charge. And then when they start talking about getting into the cellular membrane and flushing out toxicities, I didn't have to think twice. I said, this is what was missing. Yeah. So I started giving my patients, I would do a consultation, started giving them the water. That started in 2009. So I'm going into my 13th year, which is phenomenal. In October, I hit the top of the marketing plan, which is the direct sales. And so I was very excited about that. But what the journey was, so I would do it again.
Okay.
The journey, I would really do it again, because now with the knowledge on acidosis, dehydration, those three things, it stems from all disease.
Because it all starts in the gut. Like, so it's so funny. I was talking to somebody about that, and I was like, there is a reason as to why the umbilical cord attaches right at your stomach and it doesn't attach anywhere else. It's because this is your life source. So now they're getting us, and I want to break it down, right? Because they're getting us on the dehydration part, right? So now you're not drinking water, or you're drinking fruit juices, but that bad boy has like 80% sugar. So it's like, you're not really getting that in there. And then the oxygenation, because the water brings the oxygen, and we're not even belly breathing. We chest breathe. And then all the acidity just sits there. So I'm so loving this DOA. Like, I'm going to be promoting it, because it truly hits it. Like,
yes.
You're being poisoned, and it's all stemming like right from the digestion part. And then it's like, it has nowhere else to go but up and out. And this is why our legs hurt, our feet hurt. We have back issues. Back issues is one of the most common type of aches and pains. It's back. And it's like, but look at like where your digestive tract is. It's literally right here.
Yes.
So I love this. So now let's talk about water, right? Because people will tell me all day long that they're drinking water. And I believe that you need to be drinking 60 to 80%. I stay at 70% of your body weight in water. How do you feel about how much water somebody should be drinking a day?
In actuality, it goes by your size. Because I mean, a man that's 300 pounds will consume almost 2 gallons, maybe 2 gallons of water. So a person that's in, let's say 140, 150, they will probably take in about a gallon of water. Or if they could get half of that, 64 ounces. But most people are not consuming enough water.
Not even 64, like not even close. Like they're like maybe 1 bottle of water if they finish it. It's so crazy. So now knowing this, right? Knowing that people like psychologically do not reach for water, how do you help your clients transition into that?
Well, first thing, and I tell them they have to stop drinking sugar juices. If they want to work with me, they have to be willing. They have to have an open mind to what I'm bringing to the table. And I make suggestions. I do not demand anyone to do anything. I said, drink this water and tell me how you feel. 7 days, just drink it. No soda, because soda, would you believe, is so acidic? It's on the level of battery acid.
Yeah, it cleans pennies. It'll clean your toilet. Like, that's insane. Imagine what it's killing. Yes.
Can you imagine in other countries, they use it as a pesticide to kill rodents?
Really?
Yes. Pepsi Cola. Well, I don't want to say brand names, but let's say the brown stuff.
The dark ones. Yes. Yeah.
The dark ones, they use that to remove paint. They also use it to remove blood in the street when people get killed. So
now let's think this, right? Because dude, you literally have my head going, right? So it's like, it is that acidic, right? So now it's going down your esophagus and it's going into your stomach. So now that acid combined with the acid that you naturally make, that's eroding your stomach.
Exactly. That's where your ulcers come. That's where your ulcers come.
So now, is it only the dark soda, or is it also the
all soda?
All soda. So it doesn't matter the color. Now, how does carbonated water fall into that?
Well, what do we do naturally? We pass gas.
Right.
So why would you drink something carbonated? Because it's going to increase gas in your body.
And the bloating.
So carbonated things are not good for you. Not at all.
That's so crazy.
If you took soda and carbonated drinks out of your diet, and you start, and a lot of people drink bottled water, but most people don't know bottled water has a lot of the plastic poisons that leaches into the water. So
it's because it's bottled hot. So it automatically just comes right out. And then on top of that, like, we're not calculating, especially during the summer, how long was that bad boy sitting inside of the truck before it actually got to the fridge? Like,
usually 6 months. 6 months.
I didn't know that.
It stays in the warehouse 6 months before it comes to the public.
Wow.
So are you drinking fresh water or old water?
Yes. And then so there was a lawsuit going on with Poland Spring, which is and Nestle as well, that they were using tap water instead of like all of this like natural spring type of stuff. Wow, that's insane.
Poland Spring, it's a place, it's actually a place. It has been dried up over 50 years.
What?
Yes, so they're not getting that. They're actually putting most bottled water it comes from a different source. They either put bromide, like Dasani is banned in the UK, but the United States sells it.
Yeah.
Aquafina, I call it aquafeces.
No, why do you call it that? I'm like super intrigued right now.
You ready? Because it's the Detroit River water.
What? No, yeah, that's Nestle, because Nestle was
exactly.
It was with that whole Flint thing. Like, they were taking the water, but they weren't properly filtering it, and then they wasn't giving it to Flint. Like, it was a whole big thing with Nestle back then. Wow, that's crazy. So then, for someone who legit is always on the go, right? And it just makes sense for them to go to the store and buy a bottle of water. I believe that is better than not drinking any type of water. Exactly.
But they do, now they're coming back with glass.
Yes, Mountain Spring, I think, does it in glass.
But see, it's better for glass. It also cuts down on the pollutions where you have all those bottles that is not being recycled. They have less than 10% of bottles that they actually recycle. So what happens to the other 90%? It goes into a landfill. And then our birds are eating it and our fish are eating it. And guess who else is eating them? And so all that's going inside of you.
Yeah.
So it's so important, like people say to me, I say, well, I've been a vegetarian, then I was vegan for many years, and I never put down anything or anybody does, but look at how they cultivate the animals and the meats. So do I want that anger going inside of me and that sadness? So I like to, I'm very sensitive to vegetables, and I tell people at least eat 80-20, eat 80% raw, and then 20% saute and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's how you fix your food. The preparation, it's in the preparation that takes the longest. So
but then now let's talk about that. I want to cut you off because I still want to stay on the water track, right? So basically they're using recycled water to water the actual growing process, right? Then now you come home and you're using tap water to clean it. So that healthy vegetable now has like a ton of toxins right inside of it because of all of the toxins that they use just to clean our water, plus whatever they were spraying, and then all of the pesticides and stuff that they were spraying too. So how do you clean your water?
Well, I have an ionizer.
Okay.
It's made in Japan, and it's actually marketed all over the world as a medical device. It has titanium and platinum medical grade plates. And the plates are the size of, if you remember the old VCR, what they call it, VHS tapes, how big they were. But that's the size of the plates that's inside of our ionizer. So the water goes up and down like this, up and down.
Okay.
And what it does, it puts an electrical charge in it. So I actually wash mine which is being filtered before the water goes into the ionizer, and it produces 11.5, which takes off the pesticides, herbicides, and the suicides they put on our foods.
So now what do you see the difference in the water after you wash?
Oh, big time. Big time.
What does that look like? Can you describe it?
The water, what happens is that tap water has over 300 chemicals plus in it. You
Mhm.
got formaldehyde, you got fluoride, you got chlorine, and you got pharmaceuticals, and you got a lot of others. I'm just naming a few.
Right.
But those right there, you know, that with the pharmaceuticals, people flush down the toilet, and then you wonder why you got a lot of zombies walking around. It's because of what's in the water. And then you drink bottled water, and then you put it in the sun. And when they heat the water, when they make these bottles, they heat the bottles up to 180 degrees. Then they put the water in it. And the chemicals from the bottles leaches in the water before you even get it.
Wait, but what about BPA, right? That whole BPA free thing, like,
yes,
doesn't that save you?
Because that helps that helps. But the best thing to do is if you could get a bottle that's lined with glass, or you can't put our water in aluminum because it taints the water.
No, aluminum, period. Like, you shouldn't even be cooking with aluminum because it goes right in. And that's number one cause of dementia, Alzheimer's. Like, no, stay away from aluminum if you do nothing else. We line our aluminum with parchment paper, but that's crazy. So I truly am super, super guilty of having water in the car, and then all seasons it's like, it's hot water, no worries, just still drink it. You thirsty? I'm so guilty of that. Like,
you just be careful with that, because I don't know if you remember Sheryl Crow, and she's from Canada. She's a singer. And what ended up happening was she used to take the Poland Spring water, freeze it, and then put it in her car. So when she would get thirsty, she'll come and drink it. So, one day she went doing the self-exam, and she felt a lump. So they did a biopsy, and when they went in and pulled out the tissue, it was plastic. It was plastic.
No, like it was plastic. Like a piece of plastic.
So you don't want to freeze those bottles.
Okay.
And you don't want to put them in the sun, But if you can they have some foreign water. We just did a video, and if I could get the video to transfer and put it on my Drink Outside the Box platform on Instagram, you would actually see there are some waters out here that it's dead water regardless. Mm-hmm. Okay, it does not have an electrical charge, but they do have some water that is better for consumption, which is some is foreign water. I mean, I could, show you some, and in the future, I could actually show you.
Okay.
Actually, some
that
water.
Would be awesome. Yeah. So now let me ask you, how do you feel about transferring your own energy towards the water, like praying over it and talking to it before? Because right, water has memory and water remembers. Right. So kind of like, I guess, talking out everything else to bring into the positivity. How do you feel about that?
Well, I know there's many ways. I hear people telling me there's other ways of alkalize their water. Alkalize is one thing, but ours have an electrical charge.
Right.
So that makes it alive. So you could pray over the water and everything to make it consumable, right? Mm-hmm. But does it have that electrical charge? That's the thing that's missing that we need in our bodies.
Right.
That electrical. So our water is actually alkalized because it has an electrical charge.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I share with people, I have bags, collapsible bags, which is great. They could put them in their purse, they're BPA free. And, they get the water. And I told them, listen, if you don't drink the soda or any of those sweet things, and just tell me how the water, first thing most people say is, oh my God, it went right to my brain within 60 seconds.
That's amazing.
So now guess what's happening? It's moving those cobwebs in the brain.
It is.
And now it's helping you defecate much easier because the water goes into the small intestines, so it goes right through and flushes it out. So the first thing people have to do is go to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. So now, they're starting to feel better because the more you poop, the better you feel. Exactly. You should be able to poop an hour to 2 hours after you eat. That's why when we see babies, we say they eat in what we say they poop, eat right? What?
They eat and poop. Yeah, that's it. Wow, that's crazy. So now you have me thinking, right? Because we eat a lot of dead, right? Like I would say more they, because I don't really eat a lot of dead, but people eat a lot of dead, right? So now dead is automatically rotting. So now it's staying in your body, and then your body is extremely dehydrated, so it can't even like properly break down the food. So now you're saying that in drinking this electrolyted water, right? This energy based water where it's almost like jumping your car battery, right? And kicking it back into high gear. So now everything's automatically starting to work and move. I love this. So now do you sell the water and you sell the machines?
No, I don't sell the water.
Okay.
But the ionizers, what I do is they buy the bags and they, they're refillable. So I let them, try the water out and I also lease I have like 4 machines and I lease them out. If a person qualifies, you have to qualify.
Oh no, for sure. Yeah. You don't want to give it to somebody and then they can't even pay their rent. Yeah.
Right. So they get to use the machine for 2 weeks. I go in, I show them how to use it, how to cook with it. So the next time that you do another show or prior to, I'll come and do a demonstration with you, washing your fruits and vegetables and things like that. Baking. Oh my God, I have so much fun with this machine.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I think that would be awesome if we could do something like that, because Lou's starting to do baking. Like we literally, where she's going to start making cupcakes and donuts as soon as I'm done with this. So wow, that's amazing. Now, so where can everybody find you?
Well, they can find me on Instagram, Drink Outside the Box Life. And or they could actually call me direct, 646-319-8888. And if they call, they have a question, I always send them a video. I always send them back to look at videos, or I send them private videos. Take a look at it. My videos are short. I don't like long videos. My attention span is like a child. So I try to tell people, if they want longer videos, I can. But I also do other things, like capsulating the heavy metals that we get from the environment. So I have a product that actually is called Zoe Clear Drops. And I'm introducing that to what I do with my water.
Okay.
So I tell people the most important thing when you meet Adenike is that I will be able to put you on a path of healing. That's it. That's all I do. Put you on a path of healing, drinking water, because that's the most important thing. We are 70% water.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have tea, you can have coffee, but coffee is good for doing colonics, because it goes right to the liver and draws out the toxicities, but it's acidic when you drink it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why people, get to shakes and stuff. But they have other ways of using this water that makes their coffee less acidic. I also have videos on that.
Awesome. So really, so that I'm understanding correctly, right? This machine is going to be a life changer, because you're going to be using it for everything, right? You're not just going to be bottling your water with it. This is your new water source.
Water source.
Right to the
sink.
sink.
It hooks up to your sink.
Perfect.
It hooks up to the sink. Perfect. And if a person don't want things on the sink, we also have units that they could put underneath the sink.
Okay.
So but I don't use chemicals. I wash my clothes with the water. I wash my windows with the beauty water. You can use the beauty water as an astringent to tighten your skin. So I don't have to buy all that stuff anymore. People that make their own cosmetics, that I'm making arrangements for them to use the beauty water in their products instead of using, bottled water or other types of water. So it's so many different things you could do. Restaurants, juice bars. I'm talking to many of them to put these ionizers in their place of business.
It's because water is so important. Like you said, but we're not just made up of just liquid, right? Because water, it's a solid, it's a liquid, it's a gas. Yeah. And the fact that that's what we're made up of as well, it's water really is life. And there's so many instances where you can tell if you're lacking water, right? Like how dehydrated is your skin, right? How ashy do you get? Does your poop come out in clumps instead of just regular? Because that's it, just batching it together. Do you find that you're always lagging right? Because now your body is trying to use energy off of what it doesn't have. So you get congested very easily. Like I'm totally loving this. So we're going to definitely do this again.
Definitely.
Just to kind of have you come on and really give more solid examples. I think we definitely showed everybody how important water was and how they should be doing more research on what exactly their source is. Do you have any final words?
Well, if they're going to research, Google has a very opinionated. You need to go to the right sources.
Yes.
So, I send people to sources that have nothing to do with any company, pubmed.gov, and they have to have the right words to put in to get the right information. So
electrolyte call you, right? So that
yes,
you can send them all of their
so
links.
I can send them to the right source if they want to research, but the research has been done. They don't research other things, before they go and drink it. I said, here, just drink the water and tell me how your body reacts. That's it. It's that simple.
Awesome. I love this. I thank you, Adenike.
Thank you so much.
It's Drink Outside the Box.
Yes, Drink Outside the Box Life, if they want to look me up on Instagram.
Awesome.
Okay.
And then you have your number here, and we're going to highlight
Yes, it's 646-319-8888.
Awesome. All right, cool. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me, and I look forward to doing that cook show with you.
Yes. Thank you.